Hey y'all, today we are going to be talking about 4 of the most common reasons people choose a city to live in, and I'm going to give you my top 3 picks for Atlanta suburbs that fit those descriptions and meet those needs. So let's get right into it with number 1, that is proximity to the city of Atlanta. Now, my first choice for proximity to the city of Atlanta is going to be Sandy Springs. Now, if you take a look at Atlanta, we're going to have I-285. We call it the perimeter. It's a ring road that's going around the city of Atlanta. Now, Sandy Springs sits just north of I-285 and along Georgia 400. So in terms of access to the city of Atlanta, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. You're gonna be able to take 400 straight down into the city of Atlanta. You're on the perimeter, so if you need to get to different parts of the metro area, that is also very easy. Sandy Springs offers fantastic location and a lot of great amenities. Now, Sandy Springs doesn't feel like your traditional suburbs. It is quite business focused. You're gonna have a lot of corporate headquarters in the area and a smaller amount of single family homes. So this does tend to lean more towards working professionals, young professionals, married couples, but does still offer a lot to families as well. There's gonna be good schools in the area, and it has lots of restaurants, shopping, and amenities. Now, the other thing that makes proximity in the Sandy Springs area so great into Atlanta is that it is serviced by MARTA, which is not going to be the case for all the suburbs we look at today. The light rail transit system does go all the way up to Sandy Springs. So if you are a regular commuter into downtown Atlanta, whether that's for work, or you plan on being a season ticket holder at Hawks or Falcons games, or you just like to have the downtown vibe, that is going to be very easily accessible. It also goes all the way down to the airport. So if you are a frequent flyer, then to have that MARTA station in Sandy Springs at your fingertips is going to be a big plus. Now, my second recommendation is going to be more to the northwest of the city of Atlanta, and that's going to be Marietta. Marietta is also mostly just outside of the perimeter, so it's not a very far distance from Atlanta. It also borders I-75, which is going to be one of the main roads coming into and out of the city, so very easy access to get to downtown or anywhere else you need to be in Atlanta. And where Sandy Springs is more professionally focused, a lot of corporate headquarters and high-rises and apartments, Marietta is going to have a much more suburban feel to it. It does have a lot of single-family homes, local restaurants and stores, a strong historic charm to it, and its own historic downtown. It does feel much more family focused while still offering fantastic access to the city of Atlanta. Now, if you are looking more for a mix between the two of them, then I would recommend Brookhaven as my third recommendation for proximity to the city of Atlanta. Now, Brookhaven is actually inside the perimeter, so it might have the best access into the city of Atlanta of all these 3 options, but Brookhaven brings a lot of that same suburban feel to it that Marietta does. With lots of parks and green spaces, as well as single-family homes predominantly in the area, Brookhaven is going to have that suburban feel with really unparalleled access into downtown Atlanta. Brookhaven is also served by the MARTA transit line, so very easy access into downtown or the airport for whatever your needs are. But if you want to be close to the city of Atlanta, then you're not going to be able to find anything closer that still offers a trendy and walkable, family-friendly lifestyle. Now we're going to get into the second requirement that people have when they choose the city they're going to live in, and that is the highest rated schools and best amenities. And the first one I'm going to recommend is Alpharetta. Now, when people are choosing to move to the North Atlanta area, Alpharetta is usually at the top of their list, and for good reason. Alpharetta and its surrounding area has some of the highest rated schools in the state of Georgia, as well as having some of the best amenities in the metro area, with shopping centers like Avalon and Halcyon and downtown Alpharetta, as well as having a lot of park and recreation options. The possibilities are endless here in the city of Alpharetta. There's a reason it's one of the most popular options for families moving to the area. It also has a very strong tech sector and startup scene as well, so for people who are looking for a more professional setting while also having the top tier level of amenities, Alpharetta is definitely one of the best options. Now, the second one that I'm going to recommend is actually just southwest of Alpharetta, and it is Roswell. Roswell is going to offer a lot of what Alpharetta already does, with highly rated public schools. The schools aren't quite as highly rated as Alpharetta's, but they are very highly rated in their own right. It's also going to have a lot of those top tier amenities. It has a very charming historic downtown core and some of the best access to the Chattahoochee River for people who enjoy going for river floats or kayaking, whatever the case may be. Roswell has some of the best access to that compared to any other city in the metro area. Now, compared to Alpharetta, where some people are looking for the top of the top level amenities, very luxury lifestyle, Roswell is going to feel a little bit more grounded and homey compared to Alpharetta, while offering a lot of the things that Alpharetta does, making it another great option for families who are looking for good schools and fantastic amenities. Now, the third one I'm going to recommend is East Cobb. Now, East Cobb is an unincorporated area in Cobb County, just north of Marietta. East Cobb has some of the highest rated public schools in the state of Georgia, some that are nationally ranked as well. So if you're looking for the top of the top public education, then you're going to have a hard time beating the schools in East Cobb. In addition to that, similar to Roswell, East Cobb also borders the Chattahoochee River and has lots of creeks and trails that run throughout the area. So if you're someone who enjoys going for a hike or a run through the trails, East Cobb is going to have that in spades. Now, East Cobb does lack having a central downtown core like Alpharetta or Roswell do, but spotted throughout the community, there are lots of shopping options, everything from Trader Joe's to local restaurants and stores and Target and everything in between. So if you're looking for fantastic public schools and top-of-the-line amenities, East Cobb, Roswell, and Alpharetta are 3 of my recommendations. Now, the third reason that somebody's going to choose a city to live in the metro Atlanta area is maybe they're looking for the most affordable. For some people, getting the most bang for their buck in their home and lifestyle is the most important factor, and here are my 3 recommendations for that. The first one is going to be Sugar Hill. Now, Sugar Hill sits north of Atlanta and Alpharetta and all those things in between, all the way up to the tip of Lake Lanier. Now, Sugar Hill has very direct access to the city of Atlanta and a very strong sense of community to it. It is a family-friendly suburb, just like some of the other ones we've talked about. And since it's further out from the city of Atlanta, you're able to get more home for your money and enjoy more of that space and that time with your family. Sugar Hill has a growing town center and some fantastic local parks and amenities, and can be a great option for people who are looking for the most bang for their buck. Now, the second one I'm going to recommend is just a little bit further than Sugar Hill. It's up in Beaufort. Beaufort is another city on the north end of the Atlanta metro area, sitting just east of Lake Lanier. Now, one of the appeals to Beaufort is where a lot of the school systems go through their county. Beaufort has its own city school system. The schools in the Beaufort city school system are very highly rated and desirable for families who are looking to move to the area. In addition to that, you have the Mall of Georgia and some fantastic amenities out there in Beaufort. Everything from a Topgolf to an IMAX movie theater. We also have the Gwinnett Stripers that kind of play just between Sugar Hill and Beaufort. So if you're looking to catch a local AAA baseball game, that's just out your front door. And then anybody who enjoys getting out on Lake Lanier on the weekends or just on your summer days after school, this can be a fantastic option. Now, my third recommendation for anybody looking for more affordability in the North Atlanta metro area, my recommendation is going to be Woodstock. Now, Woodstock sits more northwest in the Atlanta metro area over by Lake Allatoona, up I-75 and I-575. Woodstock is a fantastic option for those looking to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy a strong sense of community. Woodstock has a growing downtown core. They're putting a lot of investment into that, with restaurants and breweries being built, in addition to a nice amphitheater downtown. Woodstock also has great proximity to Lake Allatoona and the North Georgia mountains. So for people who are looking for frequent weekend getaways and a quiet lifestyle in their community, Woodstock is one of the best options. So for anybody who is looking for more space to raise their family or frequent weekend getaways to the North Georgia mountains or Lake Allatoona, all while having a strong sense of community in the city that they live in, Woodstock is one of the best options. Now, before we get to the fourth reason, my name is Brian. I'm a local real estate agent who serves the North Atlanta metro area, and I'm here to help guide people who are moving to the Atlanta metro area, because I did it myself and know just how confusing that process can be. So if you are looking to get yourself started on the homeownership journey here in the North Atlanta metro area, feel free to reach out so we can help you get started on that process. All my information is going to be down in the description. Now, the fourth reason is some people are looking for the best access to natural resources. Now, this is the only time I'm going to double up on a city in this list, and the first one is going to be Roswell for some of the reasons that I mentioned earlier. But having the access that Roswell does to the Chattahoochee River and all the trails and national recreation area that comes along with it, it was hard not to give it a spot here in this fourth category. But another recommendation I'm going to give for people who are looking for the best access to natural resources is going to be Johns Creek. Now, I've talked about Johns Creek in some of my other videos, specifically some of its park and recreation options, as well as some of the best golf courses in the state of Georgia. But in addition to that, Johns Creek is going to have some great parks along the Chattahoochee River as well. It's a popular spot for fly fishermen and anybody looking to go on hikes. Now, Johns Creek sits just east of Alpharetta, so it does offer a lot of the same level of amenities and access to the city of Atlanta that Alpharetta does. And also, as a bonus, has better access to some of these natural resources. Now, our last recommendation here on the list, and if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe so that you can see more of our content here on the channel. But our final one is going to be Cumming. Now, the city of Cumming sits just opposite Sugar Hill and Beaufort across Lake Lanier, so having access to that lake is fantastic already, but Cumming also has great access to the North Georgia mountains. So anybody looking for camping trips or going on hikes in the North Georgia mountains, it's going to be very hard to beat the access that Cumming has. It also offers that strong suburban feel, so if you're somebody who likes to be away from the hustle and bustle, you're going to find that here in Cumming, in addition to the boating, swimming, hiking, and everything else that you could do here in the area. Now, thank you guys very much for checking out this video. Make sure to check out one of our other videos so you don't choose the wrong North Atlanta metro suburb, and we will see y'all later.